G'day guys, today I take you out on 4 real estate drone shoots out all over Western Australia, and I show you what I do to differentiate myself from the rest of the photographers that are out in Perth. Hope you enjoy.
Woo! Mate, look at that. Mate, I am stoked. We've got 4 shoots on today, going from Armidale to Dawesville, out to South Yunderup. Got 4 beautiful shoots and the weather is perfect. So I've just hopped in the car. We're going to head to these 4 shoots that I spoke about. Now I was going to head up to Kelmscott first, but I really like the idea of heading to Dawesville. A little bit of backtracking involved with that, but I'm doing South Yunderup later on this afternoon. But I specifically want to do Dawesville so that we get the blues of the ocean with the sun behind us, golden sands. It's a beautiful day. This particular location is right on the beach, so it is the perfect spot to do a morning shoot, or where are we now? At about 10:30 it'll be by the time we get there. So I know the spot well, photographed it many times, and certainly at this time of the morning it'll look pristine. So I'll take you there now. So I've just rocked up at Balladonia in Dawesville, and there's a fair bit of cloud out now, so we've kind of lost that good day that we started off with. That said, it's still remarkably better than it has been the previous days. So I'll just show you all. What we're talking about is this one here, next to the house. It's number 66. So basically, nice big block. Your houses looking over the back. And you turn around, boom. There's your ocean. Beautiful spot. I've shot a few locations here before, a few shoots. There's a little park down here. It's pretty cute. Like I say, definitely seen better days, but we're in winter here in Perth, so we sort of take what we can get.
So as soon as we take the drone up here, I turn around, we see a roo just hopping over the block. You'll see it right here. There you go. Quite common in this sort of area. You do get a lot of kangaroos, normally at dusk and dawn, but occasionally you get the stray roos on the blocks, the vacant blocks. So I pull out, I do a 45-degree oblique shot, then I pull up for a top down. I normally like it long ways to go the same way as the resolution of the camera. As you see, I do overlays and all that sort of stuff, so it's all pretty fancy. Going back till we get the ocean. I like a bit of sky in that, but I've cropped it out in that particular shot. And then we spin around to get some 45s with the ocean. Now I took in excess of 20 shots, I think, with this particular shoot, but I don't use all 20. I normally deliver between 5 and 10. And add points of interest depending on whether the client wants them. We charge extra for that. So every time you hear the shutter going off is when we're doing another shot. Like I say, in this particular shoot we did around 20 or so shots and delivered about 7 to 10. Dawesville is a beautiful location. So I've probably done a couple of 100 shoots here over the course of time. I work with several agents in the area. You'll see, it's just, you'd be silly not to get drone photography on every property that's in Mandurah, Dawesville area. It really does sell it for its best features, which is the ocean, the estuary. We've got a lot of good schools around there as well. Great fishing. A lot of dolphins that frequent the area in the canals. A beautiful spot for a holiday and to live. So we continue to work our way around. I normally go up to about, say 90 metres, and then, or up to 120 metres, which is 400 feet, which is obviously the ceiling for us there. And then I span around, normally 180 to 200 metres around the property, taking photos of the property with its surroundings. and then I try and hunt for potential angles that I might have missed. You'll see at the end of this I end up going down to almost not eye level, but not far off. Sorry, not. So I said eye level, like a lower level below the dunes to try and get that sort of shot. But in this particular case, it didn't really work. So there's a nice little park underneath. I thought we'd get that in there, but just because I was looking at the sun, I didn't get the shot as I wanted. This is using the 3x zoom, as you might have seen on the right hand side there. Just gives a different aspect, and I did include a couple of those shots to the client. This is what I was talking about before. So I fly over, and then I sort of get down a little bit lower, see if we can get the park. But because the sun was there, it just didn't look as I wanted it to. So I thought it would be a nice little shot, but even when it was cropped in, it didn't really give the appeal that I wanted to achieve. Alright, so flight 1 went off without a hitch. Had one old guy have a quick chat, but that was just about his dog. Yeah, so pretty good. I mean, obviously the biggest thing we come across flying drones is other people. So basically, sometimes you'll get people come up to you quite aggressive and have a chat, and most of the time it gets washed away pretty quick. I mean, I have my own web page and Facebook and YouTube and all that sort of stuff. So if someone wants to search me up, they can search me up pretty quickly and find out that I am legit. I also wear UFO Drone branded hoodies and t-shirts and that sort of stuff, so it's pretty obvious that I am credible. That said, as well, sometimes I don't put out my signs because I don't want to have to erase them when I'm editing or want a quick edit. Or if I'm doing video, I don't want them coming out in the video. So, ideally, sometimes I put the signs out, other times I won't. I can normally talk to somebody and get them to understand what I'm doing straight away. If I think it's a problem, if I'm shooting and there's like a house next door, often I'll go and knock on the door and say, hey, look, just let you know, in 15 minutes I'll be doing this drone shoot. We're not looking at your underwear or anything like that, so just be aware I'll have the drone up for 15 minutes, so keep your clothes on. And most of the time we'll have a laugh and a chat and talk about whatever and then go about my business. So I'm doing it, for the agent, for myself, and for a bit of safety. I don't really want the confrontation, although I'm not a small guy, I can sort of handle myself, but I don't want any confrontation when I'm doing it. It just prolongs the day. Obviously, if I've got 4 or 5 shoots, I don't really want to be ginning around having a chat with somebody who's aggressive or wants to have a fight with me. So that's me done there. On to the next one, and the next one I'm going to head is probably almost 100 k's away. So out to Kelmscott for a quick shoot there, and then I'm heading to Darling Downs, which is further south. And then I'll come back home for a bit, maybe transfer the data onto my computer, and then I'll head out for one at 4 o'clock, which is in South Yunderup. Now, that one, they actually want me to do a shoot and get some kangaroos in the shot, which I actually almost got in this shoot. When I pulled up here, there was a roo in the yard and it hopped off, so I didn't get anything on video, but it's kind of what you get in these parts. Not everywhere in WA, but certainly in Dawesville, South Yunderup, those sorts of areas, you do get a lot of roos. They're known as being a bit of a pest for a lot of people in Australia. So, despite what you may think, we're not overly fond of them. We like to take pictures, and it's nice to have them there, but they decimate people's yards and they eat the plants and all that sort of stuff. So, it's not ideal. A lot of people have the fake lawn and that just so that they don't have the problems with the roos. So, that'll be fun to see if I can get any roos in the shot or whether the drone scares off the roos. As I say, I'm shooting with a Mavic 3 Pro, so it does have a zoom function. So I might be able to get a couple of shots with the roos up real close. So hang on for those. And let's just see how we go. Just rocked up on the second shoot. We're in Banyard in Kelmscott. And Banyard's it'll be a development block, so it's a big corner block in Kelmscott near the railway station. Bit of an investment area, so you find that they'll get a lot of investment buyers, people from the eastern states, which do quite well over here. Not as nice a location as the other,
In fact, the house is pretty average. You know, they're getting interior shots done of the house. Let's see if we can have a look. So basically, that's the house behind me. They're very basic, probably 2x1, 3x1. You know, fairly average, but it's a corner block, so you'll see around us there's a lot of development. There's a lot of new houses and that sort of stuff. I'll flick at the back, you'll see again new houses and that sort of stuff. So, you know, that they sell quite well to investors. Again, it's a big block. They're probably going to demolish the house and do a development really close to a new train station, shops. Champion Lake's just down the road, so there's a lot of positives in the area, and you'll find that, again, investors will buy this one, Eastern States investors. So I'll get the drone up and we'll hit it off. So here I'm just playing with the zoom a little bit. I've just finished the shoot and the agent has come over to have a chat, and I'm just showing him how impressive the zoom is. So I'm zooming in at the 3x zoom, the 7x zoom across the road at the shopping complex in Kelmscott. So you can see that 3x is the 7. You can see how clear it is. Like I say, that's just the screenshot. That's not a recording. And you can look right the way over. There's Dome in Kelmscott. You can see the traffic. Look, I can't make out the number plates, but it's a bloody good shot at a zoom. So quite impressive. I just thought I'd show the agent to show him what my new drone is now capable of. All right, guys, bit disappointed. The one that we had planned in Darling Downs has cancelled. They're just not ready for the sale. So they sort of said, hey, can we give it a month? I said, I'll speak to the agent, and the agent will advise on what to do. But basically, they weren't ready. So I rocked up there, and they were thinking, well, it's probably not for them today. So I don't normally charge. If someone's had a change of heart, somehow not going to sell, then I'll just cop that. I mean, I was going past there anyway to go to my next one, so it's not overly detrimental for me. But obviously, it hurts me in the hip pocket. But I've picked up another one just off the back of that. So I had an email from a bloke called Andre who works down Mandurah way. That's back to where I started this morning, and he said, hey, you want to do a shoot for me in I think we're in Meadow Springs. So I was heading down this way tonight, so I've chucked him on for now. So I'm going to do this shoot here, give you an idea what that's about, and then we'll be off to the next one with the kangaroos down in South Yanderup. All right. Just rocked up here at the fourth shoot of the day. So this one is the one in South Yanderup with the kangaroos that we're meant to be seeing. and I don't think the roos got the message. So I'm at the back of the property. You're meant to be here at 4 and I'm here at 3. There are kangaroos on the other side. And I'm told it's because it's flooded over the back, is that they're sort of hiding out over the other side, so they might not be here because it's flooded over there. They're going to be harder for us to see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my normal shoot, and I'm going to try and find some with the zoom on the Mavic 3 Pro, and we'll see how we go with that.
Now, as I forgot to do a screen record for this one, I'm going to fly around and give you an overlay of the finished product. So I did a few extra shots for this one. Not as many points of interest because there's not too much out in South Yunderup. But you'll see that I've included a number of shots. Just going to fly around and then eventually try and seek for some kangaroos. They're the western grey kangaroos out that way. Always impressed with how good the Mavic 3 is in stability and in quality in video. I've got to say, I've used the Air 2S, I've got the Mini 2, I've had a Mavic 2, even had a DJI Spark back in the day, and the Mavic 3 Pro smashes them all. Very confident, easy to use. All this was flown manually. None of the smart flying programs and that sort of stuff. Just manual flight, nice and easy. As you see, I fly around. That's me in the car in the bottom left there. It's all over a reserve on that side, so really quite safe. There's some shots of the roos. Like I say, I did provide a few extra shots for this one because there was less points of interest. But as you see, I've got some good close-ups with the roos with the zoom lens. There's some video. I zoomed right into 28 times, which you can see that it sort of loses its quality. That said, nothing taken away from it. It's great that you can sort of use it to spot these animals, and they had no idea that I was even there. So I got fairly close. I was right on top of them as well, and they didn't know. Boom. And yeah, it was a really good experience. Had I been a bit closer on the other side of the paddock, I might have even been able to get closer because I couldn't. My drone was barely in line of sight. Sort of losing it behind some trees, so I didn't want to take too many risks. So, like I say, I got some great shots. If you have any questions in regards to real estate photography in Australia or anywhere in the world, or questions about the drones that I've used before, maybe you have an inkling to buy a drone and you don't know which one to get, I'm happy to answer any questions. Like I say, I've flown many drones. In the low-level professional, high-level consumer, and happy to answer any questions, like I say. Again, if you've got any hints and tips for me, I'm all ears. Always happy to learn from other drone professionals out there. Thanks again, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll catch you on the next video.